What's your favourite game on the PlayStation?
1, 2. Oh, I know. Can't really decide.
What is it?
Can't really decide.
Alright, what's your, like, 3 of your favourite games? Knack?
Minecraft, and the cooking game.
Oh, the cooking game's good, isn't it? We've played that online.
Yeah.
Do you think do you like serving or do you like making the food?
I think I like making the food.
That's the best bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be pretty good at it too, though.
Yes.
Do you like any games, Mary?
Yeah.
What kind of games do you like? Knack?
Yeah.
Well, what do you do in Knack?
The cooking game and Minecraft, but I'm not allowed to play any of those.
But you like watching them, don't you?
Yeah. I'm only allowed to do Star Wars or Angry Birds or anything, a game on an iPad like Doggy, Angry Birds, or another Doggy.
Have you gone far in Angry Birds?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we got on to the next level.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good.
But we only started it, so and normally it wouldn't let us to the next thing, next level. Next thing in that level.
What's your favorite toys do you have, Mary? Like top 5 best toys. Let's say you're going on a trip. What 3 toys are you going to bring? Sky. What's Sky?
It's in Paw Patrol.
Oh, right. Okay. Sky is a guy in Paw Patrol. Or a girl.
A girl. It's a girl.
And what else?
Ponies.
Just one or loads of them?
Loads of them.
Loads of them. So that's your second one is loads of them. And then the third thing you bring?
One of Nana's dollies she made for me.
Oh, one of Nana's dollies she made for you? Is it a knitted thing?
Yeah.
No, what's your top? We'll end the radio show then. What's your top 3 toys? You're going on a trip. What are you bringing?
Teddy Storm and Monkey.
Monkey. What's a monkey? Is he like a teddy?
Yeah, Teddy Monkey.
Would you bring 3 teddies?
Well, normally I like to bring Storm. Normally on school trips we only bring about 1 teddy.
Yeah, but this is like a special trip, so you have 3 choices. So you have Storm, Monkey, and what's the third guy?
Teddy!
Another teddy. Is Teddy a teddy, is he? He's like a bear.
Yeah. Teddy bear.
Ah, right, cool. Mary, if you could go anywhere in the whole world, where would you go? The shop.
To Jerry's house.
Jerry's house?
Yeah.
Tell us who Jerry is.
You know my cousin Jerry.
Yeah, and where does Jerry live?
And Calvin.
Cavan. And do you have a Cavan accent?
No.
And no, if you could go anywhere in the whole world, where would you go?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Where's your favourite place?
Where's my favorite place? I like Cookie's Corner and Monkey Maze.
Monkey Maze.
We're going to Tomas's party.
Yeah?
Cookie's Corner.
Tomas, is it?
Yeah.
Who's Tomas?
It's Mary's friend in school.
Is he cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, is he nice?
He's a boy.
He's a boy.
Yeah.
I thought he was a boy, right, Thomas? Or Tomas. Alright, will we end it there, so?
Yeah.
Are you going to say goodbye?
Goodbye.
I really like it, but I just think it's not the best thing to be watching right now.
Roger's coming live from bed as well, in case he sounds a bit hoarse. But he is in Japan at the moment, doing a tour.
I'm trying to close off a lot of business deals.
Yeah, you're You're in a big what you call a frog market at the moment. Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Because
That's pretty much
it jumps up and continues up, just like a frog jumps.
I don't see an end to this.
Do you know that frogs are actually like salmon going upriver? And
What?
a frog,
They
a
just
frog.
spunk everywhere.
Well, no, a frog constantly goes from like lower to higher constantly. It can't jump back down, and it can't jump to the same level.
Is that like that thing about if you put a cow on an escalator, it will never get back down?
You know what? It's actually exactly like that. Yeah, it is exactly like that. So eventually, the frog will die at the highest point it can reach, and then like if its offspring are born in that height, they'll never go lower than that.
Gee, thanks a lot. Like, you're really cheering me up.
I'm also eating some incredibly frozen blueberries. So if I stop talking at any second, it's because I'm grimacing at my sensitive tooth.
Do you mind me asking you why you're eating frozen blueberries? Why you have cold blueberries?
Well, I'll tell you, Roger. It's because I've been asked by the Blueberry Council of Ireland. As you know, you're involved with a number of nutritional councils in Ireland.
Yeah.
For instance,
Bread Council.
Bread Council. They were actually the first guys that got in touch in the podcast, weren't they?
Straight in, they gave me a block of sourdough. Delicious.
Do you get your stuff unsliced as well, don't you? As like a kind of a treat.
Yeah. And do you know what I used to call it? Knives from the Knife Council.
Do you know what I used to do as a teenager? Ironically, I used to get a cutting board, and I used to use the edge of that to cut things.
Oh, Jesus!
Kind of, I don't know. It was just kind of like fighting the system my own little way, you know.
And were you popular? Would you say as a teenager?
I would say I was extremely popular in that kitchen. Yeah, I was extremely popular.
Wait, sorry. You said a kitchen there.
You know, I said it was kitsch. Also, I was babysitting earlier on tonight, my niece and nephew, and I forgot to say this to you at the start or at any point, but there probably will be a little prelude to this podcast where they're talking for 2 minutes.
Oh, very fun.
Yeah, they were telling us their top 3 toys, which nearly gave them both mental breakdowns trying to pick. Hang
on. You got, because I won't listen back to this. You're going to have to tell me some of their toys.
Top 3 toys from Noah. I mean, this won't be of any benefit to the people listening who've already heard this. I think top 3 toys from Noah were Storm, which I think is a dog of some description.
Right, that's shit anyway, that one.
Teddy, which is a bear. And
hang on.
Or unless he was talking about his dog. I'm not sure, because his dog is also named Teddy. And then the third one was Monkey, which is a monkey. Mary quite cleverly defeated the system by saying she would be like, I don't know, I can't even remember the first one. It was like Peppa Pig, and then I think her second one was something like loads of animals. So she defeated the system.
I was kind of thinking, like mine growing up, I'd say I would have definitely had a Transformer in there.
Would you?
Transformer, yeah, but Transformers Beast Wars.
What channel did you see Transformers on? I don't think it was on Irish TV, was it?
Oh, I know, no, it might not have been, but definitely the toys were. I was very interested in the toys.
Who is your top Transformer?
Top Transformer is, now you have to keep in mind that during my
can I guess who it is?
Childhood, I nearly go on.
Is it Starscream?
You won't guess it. What?
It's not Starscream, no.
Never mind.
It is, isn't it? Of course it is.
I don't want to talk about this.
AKA Rogertron.
Hey, well, who would you have been? You would have been
Megatron. Soundwave. No, I just would have been Soundbot.
Yeah,
leave him
alone. He's Soundbot.
You know who's Sound? That lad over there, Soundbot.
Soundbot. Oh, nice.
One of my favorite songs of all time is in and as you know, I have
the touch.
No, incorrect.
No,
Dare.
Fuck it.
Stan Bush Dare.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is in Transformers movie. As is the other one. But I'm not really a huge fan of that one.
I'm currently on the RT Player website.
How do you get that from Japan?
I'm actually using a VPN. To be honest, I was using the VPN for something else, but then I just thought I'd use it for RT. Just give it a go. And
Interesting.
I happened to come across here on the front page. There is a
Fuck.
What's the matter? Too cold for you, baby?
2 blueberries.
2 blueberries.
I thought they were finished, but one attacked me. Oh my god. Sorry.
Oh god. They have now uploaded. Do you remember Pure Mule?
Pure Mule. I do.
It was a 6-part drama series set in the Midlands, in a Midlands market town.
Are you remembering
Neither
that
urban-
just off the top of your head?
Yeah.
Wow.
Neither urban nor rural, a frontier land between the old and the new. That's my personal opinion of it.
Why do you talk differently when you remember log lines?
I don't know, but two interesting things about this. One of the interesting things about it is that I once attended a talk by the guy who adapted Pure Mule, or directed it, and it's adapted from something else.
What's it adapted from?
Can't remember off the top of my head.
That's the interesting
But,
thing.
yeah, but when I was at the end of the conversation, you could, or maybe it was something else he did that was adapted. Anyway, I asked him about at the end of the conversation, the talk he was giving. We were allowed to ask questions, so I asked him, "Oh, is there a particular thing about adapting stuff that you feel is different to not adapting stuff?" And he just goes, "I've only adapted one thing, so it's not like it's my thing to adapt things or anything." And I was like, "Jesus Christ, man! Like, I was just asking a question for question's sake, like."
I was just adding fuel into this. Like, I don't really give a shit.
Yeah, like, to be honest, I don't know who you are, and I never watched the show.
Have you ever read the book Dick Whittington?
No, I haven't.
Dick Whittington is a fantastic short novel in that it's 10 pages long and has about 60 words. But it's about poor old Dick Whittington, who moves from the rural countryside to evil London, and he eventually finds fortune and fame and becomes the Lord Mayor of London in the space of maybe, I don't know, 3 weeks. But I was reading that tonight to my niece and nephew, and I came across an interesting passage in it. He meets a woman, a cook, and she does not like him. And actually, I'm going to get into something in a minute I just thought of, but I just want to read this passage to you. In the next few months, Dick tried hard to please the cook, but she beat Dick with her pots and pans.
Oh God!
No, come on! Like, I mean, if you're writing that, like, I mean, they
know what you're doing.
They know what they're doing. Like, I also read Roald Dahl. What's that Fox one?
Oh, Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Fantastic Mr. Fox. They shoot the fox to ribbons quite early in that story and rip off his tail.
His tail gets shot off, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That was my favorite book as a child.
So I had to explain to the two kids that it fell off like a scared lizard because I was reading a Lego comic to my nephew, and then I was reading another Barbie comic to my niece. She's like totally, like, unbelievably competitive. So if you do one thing for Noah, you have to do the same thing for Mary. So I said, yeah, I'll have a look at this, and it was Find Barbie. No, I honestly, Barbie is fairly unrecognizable from what we'd know her back in the day, but still has all the things.
What's happened to her?
Still all the things you'd remember her for. But I made a joke to the two of them, and I said, I used to go out with a girl that looked like that. And then Mary goes, so did Dad. So, and I was like,
Jesus.
I was like, hey, did he make the same joke I did? Or did you see him with someone?
That's hilarious.
Yep.
Because
his wife has brown hair. Like, but they're probably actually listening to this now as well, because I told them that the two were going to feature. So, divorce proceedings.
That's great. I look forward to it. This one last thing on Pure Mule is it does star one of my favorite Irish actors. of all time. I think she's never gotten the credit that she's due. Charlene McKenna.
Is Charlie
She's
McKenna the main one?
Yeah, I
What
think she's a fantastic actress.
What else is she in
Never-
that you've seen her in?
Raw as a cooking program. Well, it was.
I thought Pure Mule was a cooking program.
No, Raw was set in a restaurant.
What the hell was
And,
what was Pure Mule? What happened in that?
Do you not remember Pure Mule? Off the top of my head now, it's a 6-part drama series set in the Midlands market town, neither urban nor rural, the frontier land between the old and the new. Do you remember that?
How do you remember things like that?
No idea. No idea.
I don't even know the name of the cereal I'm eating. That's amazing.
Describe the cereal describe the cereal and I'll guess what it is.
I'm going to tell you no, right? There is absolutely no way if I give you a million guesses that you get it. None. There's absolutely no way you could get it. But I'll let you. I'll let you. It's a nutritious cereal. It actually is very high in sugar, usually, but hopefully it's good sugar. If there is such a thing.
You've probably taken granola, put 2 blueberries on it, and put protein powder on top, and that's your fucking dinner.
Here, I know you know that already, so I won't take that as badly as I should. But yes, that is my little my snack. But what's the granola?
What's the granola?
This is the bit you won't get.
Oh, hang on now.
Can you name any granola?
Crownfield?
Oh, that's exactly what it is.
Yes.
Crownfield Gruffalo granola. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's
there we go.
Yeah, that was fantastic. So right, what we're going to do next is we're going to do a segment called In Bed with Roger. So, well, just kind of a sleepy connotation, but whatever. So what we want to do is describe what it would be like to be in bed with you right now. So if you just describe your surroundings, bed sheets. I'll start with the bed sheets. What are we sporting?
Okay, we're sporting grey bed sheets.
Red Baron themed grey bed sheets. Nice.
And we're sporting a lovely, lovely white. What do you call it? Undersheet. So you can easily spot the stains if they arise.
Jesus. How many pillows? How many pillows do you have?
Two flat pillows.
Flat, miserable pillows.
Flat pillows. You don't deserve joy.
Are they?
Yes.
What kind of pillows are they? Are they like very? Do they fit the pillowcase? Is there like a flowery pillowcase kind of bit? Is there embroidered stuff on the pillowcase that you have to turn around to one side and you can't sleep on the other side?
2 grey pillowcases.
2 grey pillowcases, yeah.
And the pillows are kind of coming out the side of the pillowcases a bit.
Oh, that gives me a stress attack. Are they
really?
Are they too big for the pillowcase?
No, it's just that I haven't put in properly.
You haven't popped the under flap of the pillow over it yet.
Yeah.
All right. What's on the walls?
Yeah, so I can't say that.
We're lying in bed with you. We're looking around the walls. What are we seeing? You're
seeing directly above you. You're seeing a mirror.
Nice. Full length.
Yeah. Depends on your size.
Brilliant.
Then on the wall you're seeing a lovely. Do you know the cover of the paperback edition of American Psycho?
I don't.
Oh well, you're seeing that on the wall. On the wall, you're seeing a series of posters.
Do you like that the American Psycho novel?
I've actually never read it. I just like the artwork.
Nice. Well, you know what? I'm glad you're a strong enough man to admit that.
Yeah. I don't see any point in lying.
I think the book is terrible. I think the movie's brilliant. What else? What else?
Apparently, that ruined a generation of writers in America. That publishers for about like 5 years after that book, every novel the publishers receive is pretty much a copy of its style. Like it's very sparse, I believe.
It just
Kind of a
it just goes into excessive detail and stuff that just I get that it kind of it's basically trying to bring across like how psycho he is, but to be honest, it's just I don't want to read 400 pages on a cassette tape.
Yeah.
What kind of
On the wall, then.
what kind of lotions are around the room? Like what kind of what's in Roger's wash bag?
What kind of ointments?
Yeah.
Well, you have
What's in reach? What's in reach?
Pro-retinol.
Pro-retinol.
Always have that in reach. And you can attest, Dennis, how often do I get carded?
Oh, pretty much all the time.
Yes.
All the time.
Then you have Nivea for men moisturizer,
Yeah.
because you got to moisturize as well.
What about
It's not just all
Nivea
the
for women? Do you have any of that?
Pardon?
Do you have any Nivea for women?
No.
Okay.
I'm not a woman, so I don't. Even though I've heard, I have an
Touche.
unreliable.
Touche.
I have a what?
Touche.
I have it on a who?
Touche.
I have it on a Touche. Touche. I have this on good authority that they're the exact same anyway.
Really?
Yeah, pretty much. One of them just smells a bit more womanly. I do have a poster of Charlie McKenna.
No, you do
that
not.
is signed by me, but it does say Charlie McKenna, but I'm the person who wrote that there. And
Is there a special message on it?
What?
Is there a special message on it?
There is, yeah. There happens to be.
And what does that message read?
I couldn't read you all the words in the message.
Yeah,
Because
just the best.
It would come across. It wouldn't come across in the way it's meant. But
What way is it meant?
It's suffice to say that she seems to be quite smitten with me. Yes.
Whatever happened to your Ann Doyle poster?
Oh man, that fell down. It fell down, and to be honest, I had a look at it on the floor, and I just thought, "Is this even worth picking up again?"
Probably
And I
not.
left it there, still on the floor. Actually, what I
of the
do
Irish
is
media.
what I currently do is I cut my toenails onto it.
Yeah. Are you confident
Yeah.
when you cut your toenails that you gathered up all of them?
I no, not at all.
Do you gather them up?
What I like to do is I like to attach string to the top of them as I cut them, but sometimes they just break free of the string in the projective force.
That's actually really, really intelligent. So you tie a string that leads to the bin, is it? You kind of loop it through a hole in your toenail that you've made before you start cutting your toenail. So then when you cut it, it's released. And if the string is taut enough, it'll fly into the bin.
Bingo.
That's really intelligent. I mean, does it take long?
I'll be honest with you. I cut my nails probably about twice a year as a result of the process.
You know what I was fascinated with when I was younger? It's anything to do with the
really long
Guinness Book of Records, but it was the lads with mad long nails.
I really thought that was that guy was at a complete boundary.
I know what he looks like. Do you know what he looks like?
No.
He's
do you know his name?
I think it was Barry or something, was it?
What?
Barry Big Nails. He was a lad from he was up in Clonmel. He had a big white beard, and his toenails were grown into his fingernails. Unbelievable.
Jesus Christ.
Do you know there was an Irish lad actually who kept trying to take on Guinness Book of Records stuff?
No,
and I think,
was it you?
And I think he got the record for buried alive the longest. And
that's not true.
It is. Excuse me. A few blueberries repeating on themselves. I'm going to get it here now. Okay, Guinness Book of Records.
Big question for you.
Go on, yeah.
Big question for you. If you were to go on Guinness Book of World Records, what's your record attempt?
I don't know. Like, I don't really have. I could probably hum for the longest, maybe, or something. Something
really.
Something that would no, actually I couldn't. I something that would just take pure stubbornness. I could do that. Like I don't know, just sitting somewhere forever or just doing something like that. But I couldn't do anything that actually requires any skill. So this is actually, when was this put up? I have no idea. So Mick Meaney is his name. And there's a monument. This is back in 2017. Maybe it's in Cork somewhere. Mick Meaney monument to go up in North Cork for world record, 61 days buried alive. See?
Fuck.
Yeah.
I'm fact checking this now, and you're correct.
He's from County Tipperary, so I don't know why. Oh, brilliant. He trounced, they said here, the previous record of 45 days set by American Digger O'Dell. That's unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. You know, my great granduncle died because a ditch fell in on him.
Bit him.
What?
Because the ditch bit him.
No, a ditch fell in on him.
Oh.
He was digging a dike or something, and it all collapsed in on him. And there was like a quote from his mother who said, "I told him it was dangerous." That was like the quote in the newspaper.
Well, she wasn't wrong, was she?
And Joe, his name, I think, was actually Denis.
Really?
That could just be wishful thinking.
Another American emerged to challenge Meaney's attempt on the world record, right? On the same day, Meaney went into a 7-foot deep grave in Kilburn. Texan country singer Bill White was also buried underground in the US. White emerged after 55 days. And although Meaney was told he was a victor, he remained buried for another 6 days. Can we just talk about this, right? That's from the Irish Examiner as well, by Sean O'Riordan, right? But 61 days buried alive, 7 feet underground inside in a coffin.
Was he being given food?
Yeah, I think there was a hole going down to it. I remember my dad telling me about this before.
Jesus Christ. Your dad's all about trivia and shit, isn't he?
Yeah, no, I loves all those guys like Jack Doyle and all those boys. He would wake up at 7 a.m. and do a series of exercises. Newspapers and breakfast were passed down through a pipe. Invariably, Meaney would be reading stories about his exploits daily. He had one pipe for food and another for ventilation. The toilet took the form of a hatch on the base of the coffin, which opened onto bags of lime. Jesus Christ, if he fell into the shit and lime, he'd be killed.
Jesus.
Wow. That's insane.
That's like something you would do to piss me off.
He had been promised a pot, and this is the other part that would happen to me as well. He had been promised a pot of money and a world tour if he broke the record. Unfortunately, neither materialised. He died on February 17, 2003 in Mitchelstown.
Jesus.
Still
To
low.
die in Mitchelstown. John, I actually think being buried alive is a better fate than dying in Mitchelstown.
Or just living there.
That's actually the Guinness World Record for the longest person to live in Mitchelstown.
I think it's 4 weeks.
A Texan tried to do it.
Yeah, he couldn't. He
at
couldn't
the
last
same
all
time.
5 days, and he flew home.
Yeah.
A friend of mine actually were at a wedding at the weekend, and he flew home.
That's grand. Having fun, were you?
It was on in Adair, County Limerick, and Shannon Airport. It must be 20 minutes away, tops. So my friend decided that it'd be a better option to get a bus at 9:30 in the morning from Limerick to Dublin, and then fly out at 3:00 back to Spain.
Can I just say something that isn't supposed to come across as offensive, but it might?
Go on, yeah. You hate the Spanish?
No, that's you. Your friends, you never once have ever told a story about your friends that doesn't end in them sounding like fucking Egypt.
Well, no, in fairness, like, we are a group of absolute dopes, like.
Yeah.
One of us booked a B&B for Saturday, and then I was offered a place in that B&B. I was like, that's fantastic, thanks very much. And then a third guy said he also needed to stay in the B&B, but it was only room for 2. So the first guy was giving out about it, so we took a vote, and we voted the guy out of it who booked it.
What?
So then he'd no B&B. And then at about 4:00 in the morning, he tried to run home before us and lock the door. But we told him, since the B&B was booked in his name, that we would break down the door and he would be arrested. And then he threatened to call the guards. Then I found a mouse in the middle of the road, and I picked him up, and he bit my finger. So Just that was Saturday.
Sorry, am I high?
That's just what happened. It was a little mouse running across the road, and my friend Tom goes, "Oh, look, a mouse!" And I just instinctively tried to pick it up, but I didn't expect it to bite me. I have Wheels disease. It was a rat. Any?
No, I once saved
Two of my feet are wheels.
a mouse.
Yeah.
I once saved a mouse. It was just hanging out.
Wait, is this the story of the car and the mouse?
Of the what?
Is this the story of the car and the mouse? The mouse that ran under the car, but the car was too big and the mouse was too small.
Yeah, it's that story.
Is that car?
Have I told that before?
Only twice.
Oh,
I remember the last
it's a good
time.
story.
I remember the last time you told it. Though, I was like a 30-minute slobber knocker.
It was going to be like 3 sentences.
If I remember though, you did come out the hero in that story.
Do you know what? It's weird that you say that, but I did.
No, you did. I mean, you saved the mouse.
Yeah.
And then the mouse drove away. What's the plan while you're in bed now? Are you going to read a book or anything before you go to sleep?
You could say that.
Yeah. Is everything just an innuendo for everything else?
Yeah.
I'm going to the shop.
Depends.
You could say that.
Depends what you're looking for.
Yeah, of course it does.
What
What are you reading at the moment? What's in Roger's bookshelf?
In my bookshelf at the moment, I'm reading a very, very interesting book by Roald Dahl called Switch Bitch.
Switch Bitch. What the hell is that?
Yeah. It is about, well, it's actually a short story, but it is a collection of adult short stories by Roald Dahl.
He wrote some porn stuff, didn't he?
Pretty much, yeah. And these were originally published in Playboy, and their themes are all linked around sexual deception.
That's where all. Oh God! Is sexual deception a nice word for something terrible?
Yeah.
Oh,
One of the stories in it is called The Great Switcheroo, and it involves a man turning off the lights and swapping with another man so that they can have sex with each other's wives.
That's not okay. Roald Dahl
No.
anyone else listening that might be thinking about doing it.
Yeah.
Thomas. Well, I thought we hadn't mentioned him in a while. We must also explain that we weren't around last week because Roger was flying over to Japan. And
and the time difference. We actually lost a Tuesday.
Yeah. So it's actually still last week where Roger is now in Japan in his bedroom, which he has replicated somehow. But, there's no need to get into the brass tacks of that. Have you watched Avengers, the new movie?
No, I hate Marvel movies.
Very surprised.
But I'm not a child.
Do you think everyone who watches those movies is a complete and utter idiot?
Don't put words in my mouth, but yeah.
I completely agree with you. I think they're
the worst thing is, though,
terrible movies.
You'll agree, though, that the thing is, I look like somebody who would like those movies. So the problem is I get in loads of conversations where people are trying to extend the olive branch to me to talk about the Marvel movies. And I have to go, I haven't seen them, mate, they're shit. And it's the equivalent of if I had stigmata, but if you started chatting to me about Jesus, I'm a hardcore atheist.
So I was watching, the Red Letter Media, like big explainers of every movie under the sun. But I'd never actually seen The Last Jedi, Mr. Plinkett one. And there was just one.
Great.
There was one very interesting bit in it where, naturally enough, I have no names of any of these people. But two people decided that they'd get off of this ship that no one could get off of and go off and do a mission in some sort of horribly stereotypical or stereotype fueled casino, if you remember that place.
Yeah.
So they said to go off and do what's that guy's name?
Finn.
And the other person, Rose, isn't it?
Rose, yeah.
Finn and Rose, and they hop off the ship in a little escape ship.
Isn't it funny that I also hated the movie, but I know the characters' names and you don't?
I suppose, in a way, if you like that kind of thing. So they go into light speed and they escape.
Mm-hmm.
So as this guy pointed out, They probably all could have done that.
Yeah, just bit by bit.
Yep. What's Ryan Johnson making these days? The director.
Oh, I don't know. He made Looper. Did you ever see Looper?
I have seen Looper. Yeah. There's a second Looper, isn't there?
What?
Is there Looper 2? 2 Looped.
Oh, I don't know.
There is Looper 2, Loop the Loop. I think that's I don't know if that's the actual official name.
Really? Was that like cross marketed?
Yeah, Bruce Willis comes back to get the HB ice cream, Loop the Loop, back into production, because something has happened to Space Time Continuum that if they don't get it back into production and they don't get that tiger, well, actually, no, I'm not going to get into that. Do you know when I was reading that Roald Dahl book earlier on, what I noticed in it was that all the lower class people, or at least for a lot of those books, the lower class people always kind of hate each other.
Yeah,
I've ever noticed that. And then that the kind of rich person, not all the rich people, but some rich benevolent person comes along and rescues that lower class person from the pits of poverty.
Pretty much, yeah.
Do you think there's kind of like a little kind of maybe
colonialism to that almost?
Yes, something along those lines, that we should not try to better ourselves. Just wait for a massive power to come along and pick us up, and to hate anyone else who's in our own class. Or am I reading too much into that?
I think you're spot on, but I also hate you, and I'm just waiting for somebody to come along from a better class
and pick you up
actually
out
make
of
that
poverty.
point.
Yeah, I think you're dead right. So you're getting up in the morning, you're hopping out of bed in your replicated world of your home in Japan. You go downstairs, you put on your Roald Dahl socks, and what's Roger having for breakfast?
Hey, hang on, actually, did I tell you about my friend Orla?
No.
My friend Orla, right? She's really worried because her friend Sash is like getting very stressed because she's looking after her cousin's child, and then their other friend Lee, he's trying to persuade Sharon to invest in his latest idea.
Not gonna lie. You had me. You're trying to do that Fair City podcast again, aren't you? The one that we said we're not doing ever again.
And Sean and Doug clash over how to run the garage.